Hey there, welcome to the James Show. News Talk 820 WBAP, now on FM at 93.3. Now, WBAP's been on 820 since before you were born, but we've only been on 93.3 since January 3rd of this year. I don't know if that's breaking news, but it's a storied signal, though. If you go back, about, 15 years or so, there was another show that was on this station. I think at this time. Was it in the same time? It was called the Pugs and Kelly Show. Well, you hear Pugs on the James Show often. He is the entertainment news reporter. And we're going to stop down to talk to Pugs. But people don't know that the seat I'm in, this used to be your seat at one time.
Yeah. 12 years ago, I think is when it was, the old Bone days, 93.3, the Bone. We did afternoons there for me and Kelly for a little cup of coffee, you could say. We weren't there very long. They switched formats, and we did that radio trick where you get paid for 2 years without working.
I haven't been able to pull that off, but I'm so looking forward to it should it ever happen. By the way, people, that happens quite a bit in this industry. It's the weirdest thing. But we have some horrible news. Usually in entertainment news, I'd be talking about, the terror threats at the Taylor Swift concert or what else is going on with some other Hollywood-related something or other. But none of that seems to matter this week because we have some terrible news for you, Pugs.
Yeah. Kelly Moore, my partner, passed away on Monday. It was unexpected. She went to sleep on Sunday night, kissed her two little kids good night. She's got two kids under 12 down there. She had moved to Corpus Christi. She had married a naval pilot down there, and so she had started a new life. And she went to sleep on Monday night, and she didn't wake up. And we know she didn't wake up because her youngest son went to wake mommy for breakfast, and she wouldn't wake up. And then the other son came, and he couldn't wake her up. And, what does a 10-year-old do in that situation? Well, they call Big Brother Declan, and people here in the Dallas-Fort Worth Metroplex may remember Declan and McKenna. They were Kelly's kids, and they grew up for 11 years on the radio here with all of you. And Declan was the one who reported it to all of us around 7:45 Monday morning that Kelly had passed. We do not have a cause of death. It should be noted that about 5 years ago, Kelly suffered a brain injury, and she had major brain surgery. And she had completely recovered from that, and everything was looking good. And we are suspecting that is the main culprit, that this may be an aneurysm or something, at the very least related to the brain injury from 5 years ago. But yes, Kelly Moore, my partner of 20 years, passed away on Monday, and we are all devastated.
All right, so there's a lot of people listening right now that may have listened to her for the whole 11 years that she was on the air here and thinking, wait a second, she's too young to be passing away. How old is she?
55. She's 55 years old. And yeah, that is too young. It is too young for someone and James, I know I don't know how widely known this is, but you were the producer of the Pugs and Kelly Show for a period of time. It's why we go back as far as we do. She was a fitness freak. I mean, you know that. She was a healthy eater. She was a workaholic when it came to fitness and all that stuff.
She was the healthiest among us, for sure.
She did an entire show on a Stairmaster once because I bet her that she couldn't do it. So we got Bally's involved, and for an entire show, she was at a health club on a Stairmaster, and she did it without a problem. 4 hours Stairmaster while holding conversations with people.
When's the last time you did 4 minutes on a Stairmaster, Pugs? I would have a stroke if I tried to do that.
I can't even walk my dog around the block in this weather, so yeah. But yeah, thank you, James. Thank you for allowing me to mention that and talk a little bit about her.
Well, aren't we in the weird spot? Because if I'm getting it this bad, you're probably getting it 10 times worse, where the people who are reaching out to you, there's a duality there. On one hand, man, I don't want to talk to any of these people. I don't want to have to tell the story over and over. I don't want to have to, fill out all these text messages. I don't want to be the object of pity. But on the other hand, isn't it nice how many people just come out of the woodwork and reach out, just take the time to send a text, I can see both ways. I don't know if it's more frustrating or more comforting.
Can I just mention a couple of people who our listening audience will probably know who a lot of people came out of the woodwork. And I have to tell you, I have days worth of phone calls that need to be returned from lovely people who are just concerned and love Kelly. But there are two people in particular, James, who we all know in this market who have not only come out of the woodwork, but have just stepped up and offered things and are there on the... I want to thank legendary Dallas radio personality Mike Reiner for his unbelievable kindnesses in this moment, and Bowling for Soup lead singer Jared Reddick. It's just there's a GoFundMe in loving memory of Kelly Moore. You can find it by visiting pugsandkellyshow.com. That's a hyperlink. It'll take you right to her GoFundMe page, and it's for her kids. And Jared Reddick is unbelievable. I just want to say that.
Hang on, we got to take a break. Tell that story in about 5 minutes when we get back. That's Pugs Moran. It's a sad day for the Dallas entertainment scene. We lost a legend, someone who was on the radio for over a decade in Dallas, passed away this week. Kelly Moore, his partner. We'll continue next on The James Show. News Talk 820 WBAP, now on FM at 93.3. Hey there, welcome back to The James Show. News Talk 820 WBAP, now on FM at 93.3. We continue with entertainment news with Dallas radio legend Pugs Moran. If you're just joining us, Pugs lost his 20-year radio partner at the beginning of this week. Kelly, you may have known him from their 12-something years on the radio here as the Pugs and Kelly Show. Pugs, the saddest part about this is she still has two young kids. She has 4 kids overall, but 2 are in their 20s. She has 2 younger kids, and a lot of us are concerned about them. What do we have in the works?
Well, concerned about them. We've got 2 young boys who are now living with their 25-year-old brother, Declan. McKenna, her daughter, who is 23, I think. McKenna was out in Hollywood trying to be an actress. She has flown back, and she's now talking about staying in Corpus Christi and giving up on her dream, and everybody's against that. So it's a very sad situation where you have these 2 young older brother and sister currently trying to figure out how they're going to raise their 2 younger little brothers. I'm sorry, James.
No, that's it. Look, the first thing that we need to do is focus on this GoFundMe account. Pugs is going to do a live stream tonight at 8 o'clock on his Radio Misfits channel. I'm going to jump in for a little bit of that. And, my concern about this is okay, maybe if we do raise a few bucks now, we're talking about I think the younger one's 8 years old. Is this going to last for the next 10 years? I mean, who's going to help this? Who's going to help this kid go to college and stuff?
Yeah, no, it doesn't need to be. I mean, we're not talking about Kelly. Kelly wasn't destitute. Kelly wasn't in any kind of financial problem. The situation right now is the next couple of months because Kelly was going through a divorce. And without going into any details about that, her will and estate and all of that stuff was not finalized. And so we're looking at a few months of lawyering and judges and all of that stuff before the family is able to actually take care of themselves. Right now what we got is we got 4 kids, 2 people in their 20s, and then 2 little kids living in an apartment, a 1-bedroom apartment that a school teacher, a single 25-year-old school teacher was living in. So we're trying to take care of them just for the next couple of months. We just need
Look, when you're this close to tragedy, you get kind of a moment of clarity, or at least context, to where things that weren't important just fall off, and you realize what is important in this moment right now. What is important?
Rent, food. One of the children has extra things that regular kids don't need, or you know what I'm saying. Without being, I don't want to violate any privacy.
Sure,
but Yeah, I mean, we're trying to support. We're trying to help Declan take care of his family and hold it together 2 days after his mother was found dead. And that's what this is about. That's what the GoFundMe is about. It's about getting her funeral arrangement and end of life costs and all of that stuff. And look, there's just going to be, she, as I said, she wasn't destitute. She had a house. She had investments and all that stuff, but that's all going to be tied up now for the next 6 months because of this divorce thing. And, the kids need to eat today, and the kids need to eat next week, and there needs to be some security, and Declan's probably going to have to get a place that, has a bedroom for them. So that's what we're scrambling to do right now, scrambling to take care of the immediate things that we don't consider. You look at Kelly and you go, oh, well, she's going to be fine. She did well for herself. Yeah, but, that's all tied up now. So now we're trying to immediately right now take care of this family and make sure that they are okay for the next 6 months while all of this other stuff gets hashed out. And you know how long these court things can take.
Right. What I hear from a lot of people when someone passes away, especially like a parent, is I'll never get to talk to him again. They had so many questions that were left unasked, or I won't ever be able to ask them for advice or whatnot. I think one of my big takeaways is find out who really matters to you and then actually stay in touch with them, because she was really good about calling you. She was really good about calling me, better than I was about calling her. And so I really don't feel that with her, like there was a whole lot left unsaid, or I wish I could have told her how I felt. She did a really good job of making sure everyone knew what everyone else felt while she was here.
James, isn't that incredible? I said that myself on my stream on Tuesday. I said, so many times when people pass away, people we love, we kick ourselves because they didn't know how we felt about them, or we didn't know how, vice versa. I'm sorry, I'm scrambled. That wasn't the case with her. I said every time we hung up, it was, I love you. And she's like, I love you too. Even if we were yelling at each other over something stupid. Kelly made sure that we never got separated, that all of us, and I don't mean just me and her, I mean you, I mean Sybil, I mean all of us. She stayed in contact. She was the mother hen. She was the glue. And,
yeah, and this is also one of those reminders that these people that you work with, especially if you have a partner or someone that you work closely with all day, every day, it's quite likely you spend more time with them than your actual family, than your actual spouse or your actual kids. I mean, you didn't spend 9 waking hours with your kids on a normal work day, but you did with your work partner. And, we can sometimes underestimate how valuable these people are to you.
Can I tell a quick story? I know we're
1 minute. Got 1 minute.
1 minute. So Kelly was this person that had a lot of listeners, and she didn't make a distinction between her and the listeners. They became her best friends. I'll give you an example. She once showed up to a dodgeball event. We used to throw dodgeball parties. She showed up to a dodgeball event with these guys, and I come to find out that these guys are her landscapers. And all I can say is it epitomizes, Kelly, how many of us have landscapers? How many of us have ever talked to our landscapers, let alone started hanging out with them? That's who she was.
All right. Well, there will be more stories told tonight on Pugs Moran's online stream. Find him on Facebook or wherever. Pugs Moran.
RadioMisfits.com.
RadioMisfits.com. Thank you very much. This has been Entertainment News, and this has been The James Show on News Talk 820 WBAP, now on FM at 93.3.